I care about is money and loyalty. You ain't been where I've been, ain't seen what I seen. See, I came from the bottom, struggle sorry to a king. I'm trying to win and put it on for my team. But they want to see me lose and kill a young nigga dream.
And welcome, guys, to another episode of Nightly Sports Talk. This is episode 4, and I have a special guest with us today, Mr. Mel Weldon. I went to high school with Mel, went to college with Mel, played basketball with Mel. So, Mel, say hi to my listeners.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming, actually. And we're going to talk about Lavar Ball. Lavar Ball and Lonzo Ball. He recently... Well, Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour recently rejected his deal that he wanted. He wanted those brands to license the Big Baller brand, but they all said no. He might have to go to Reebok or one of those Chinese manufacturers. So, Mel, what do you think about Lonzo Ball and Lavar Ball? Mainly Lavar Ball.
Yeah, you can't blame anybody else but LeVar Ball. He's basically putting his foot in his mouth right now. Like LeVar Ball, he's trying to live his life through its kids, and it's not really a good look right now.
Yeah, I agree. He's trying to take all the shine off of his son, where his son should be having to shine, but he's trying to get all the notoriety, the fame off his sons, and it's just backfiring as far as endorsements goes, because his son Lonzo is still going to be a top 3 pick in the draft. And recently, also their high school coach just got fired, and LeVar Ball said he didn't have anything to do with it, but I highly disagree. What do you think about the high school coach getting fired? Because LeVar basically said he didn't know what he was doing. His wife did his resume for him, and a couple months later he gets fired. What do you think about that?
I don't really know about that situation, but I'm pretty sure. I think he got his last coach fired. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he got the last coach fired. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's not on his side. So I'm pretty sure that is his fault. So yeah, LeVar Ball basically is digging his son a hole before he even gets in the league. I don't know. I'm not sure if LeVar Ball is going to be his agent. I don't think he is, but for the most part, he's running a lot of sponsors and endorsements away already before the draft, even before his son even gets drafted, and that's not a good look.
This kid didn't even play a game yet.
Not one game, not a summer league game. Not a combine workout, nothing.
So could you blame any other brand for not going at him? I mean,
as far as LeVar goes,
it could be a bust.
It's Big Baller brand or nothing, boy. Ain't no other brand. They gonna be competing with Big Baller brand according to LeVar Ball. So moving on from LeVar, because he's got enough shine already.
Yeah.
The Jazz and Clippers series ended yesterday. The Jazz won in Game 7, beat the Clippers. Clippers lose it once again in the first round. What do you think about the Clippers and their future?
The Clippers can't catch a break. They're always suffering through the playoffs with injuries. There was no way they was going to win that series without Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin is easily 20 points. He scores 20 points easily. So, I don't know. It's all bad for him. I think Chris Paul needs to leave. He needs to leave.
Where do you think he should go? You think he should ring chase?
Definitely. That's what everybody in the NBA is there for.
Yeah, it's next year will be his 14th year in the season, I believe. So
14 years? Come on, man.
Definitely ring chasing time.
Got to.
Yeah, and I agree. Blake, when Blake went out, was it the first game? I believe it was the first game he went out. Maybe the second game, but when he went out, I was sure that I knew it would go either 6 or 7 games, but I knew they would have a tough time beating the Jazz because the Jazz play slow. They don't run up and down. They play fundamental basketball, and
sort of like the Spurs.
Yeah, and the Clippers, they only have Chris Paul as a scoring threat, really. and Jamal Crawford, but he's inconsistent. DeAndre Jordan got a big contract, but he just does the dirty work. He can't create his own shot, and he can't make a free throw to save his life. So they could have fouled him the whole game. But the Jazz, on the other hand, going back to the Clippers, Chris Paul, ring chase. They've been talking about going to the Spurs. Do you think they would be? Would that be a good fit for Chris Paul on the Spurs?
I could see that happening. I could see him fitting there with Kawhi Leonard.
If Tony Parker retires, mainly that's the key.
Yeah, this last series that he just had, he did pretty good, Tony Parker. So I mean, I don't know.
And on the other side, Jazz. Just keeping with the Jazz, they play the Warriors tomorrow night, Tuesday. What do you?
No chance.
Okay.
You have no chance. The Warriors have too many pieces. Kevin Durant's back off an injury, scoring at least 20, almost 30 in the series. Who's going to stop Stephen Curry on that team?
Okay. Who's going to stop him? I'm going to say George Hill.
Impossible.
Impossible.
If Chris Paul can do it, how could George Hill do it? Chris Paul couldn't do it during the regular season. How could George Hill do it?
Because that's my opinion, and I said he's going to do it. But recently, today actually, the Warriors said they would rather have played the Clippers because it's a nightlife and there's no nightlife in Utah. So they basically disrespecting Utah already. So by me saying that, I'm going to say the Jazz are going to pull off an upset win tomorrow in Game 1, beat the Warriors, and show that they're the real deal. They play slow. They play at their own pace. We'll see if they can play at their own pace against the Warriors because they're a different breed, different team. They got a bunch of players, and they have a great bench. So I'm intrigued to see the Jazz beat the Warriors in Game 1. Do you have any?
I'm going to project a blowout.
A blowout.
Yeah.
Not even close.
30-point win.
30-point win, Melvin.
30-point win.
Melvin.
With Draymond Green with the triple-double.
Okay, you got 30-point win. I have a 7-point win for the Jazz. Joe Johnson giving... Who would guard him? Probably Klay Thompson. Mm-hmm. He's going to cook Klay Thompson. They better not put Steph on him. They probably won't. George Hill, he's going to have 20-plus points because Steph Curry...
He's going to have to if they plan on winning.
Steph Curry folds in the playoffs, all right?
Stop it. Oh, man.
Not in the playoffs, in the championship. But realistically, though, I got the Warriors winning that series, but I do think the Jazz will win Game 1 off all the disrespect. And I just don't like the Warriors, plain and simple. Mm-hmm. Moving on. I like these two guards from these two teams, the Wizards and the Celtics. Celtics won Game 1 yesterday. Isaiah Thomas had 33 points, 9 assists, and a missing tooth. What do you think about this series, and who do you think will win the series?
This is tough. This is going to be I think it's going to go down to Game 7 because Bradley Beal and John Wall, they're both combined about 70 points each. Well, not each. Sorry about that. But like together.
Yeah,
combined, 70 points. And on the other hand, the Celtics, everybody has to play good to win. Mm-hmm. So,
who do you think gonna win?
I'll go for the Wizards, Game 7.
The Wizards. Yeah. See, we disagree again. All right.
That's because Thompson is about your favorite player.
Thomas, come on, get it right. Get it right.
Sorry about that. Thomas is your favorite player this year.
Yes, and he's great. He should be the MVP. I'm lying. It should be Russell Westbrook. But anyway, I think the Celtics is going to win because Isaiah Thomas is a problem. Nobody can guard him. Mm-hmm. And if they keep hitting threes like they did last game, I think they made almost 20 threes, then that's not going to keep up. But if they make their threes, they'll be good for the long run. And on the Wizards side, John Wall I think he's the best point guard, all around point guard in the league. I think he averaged the most double doubles with points and assists in the regular season. You got Kyrie, who doesn't really assist the ball. You got Isaiah Thomas, who averaged about 5, and so did Kyrie. But John Wall averages 20-plus points and 10-plus assists. So I think he's the all-around best point guard in the league. Then Bradley Beal,
I agree with that.
he's hit or miss. When he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's really off. And then John Wall has no help. And also the Morris twin, Markieff, I think that's the Morris twin on the Wizards. He got hurt in game 1, rolled his ankle, so who knows if he's going to be able to play game 2 or in the rest of the series. So we'll see with that. But you said the Wizards in 7. I say the Celtics in 6. So I'm going to be right most likely. And I'm going to have you on when that series over again, and then I'm going to get on you.
I can't wait to tell you I told you so.
And when that doesn't happen, what you going to say? He's not going to show up for the next, when I ask him to come on again, guys. So, yeah, Celtics in 6. Isaiah Thomas would be my MVP if he would be my MVP if Russ didn't average a triple-double. Forget James Harden.
Wow.
Forget James
How
Harden.
can you forget James Harden?
Because my boy is 5'8", about my height. So that means I'm biased, and he's the best player in the league besides 4 people. Don't matter. All right, moving on. So tonight's game are the Cavs and the Raptors. That's what we're going to talk about first. Then the Spurs and the Rockets. So first, Cavs and Raptors. What do you think about this series, about the Cavs sitting out? Well, they swept the first round, so they sat out. They had 8 days off. What do you think what that would do for would they be rusty, or do you think they'll go right into the game and be ready against the Raptors?
I think this series is just going to be a sweep.
Another sweep.
Another sweep, because like Kyle Lowry is not always in it, and when he doesn't play well, it's just DeRozan.
True.
DeRozan. This is the DeRozan show, and it doesn't end well.
What about Ibaka? They added him midway through the season. No, nothing.
No, come on.
He probably
Okay, he'll give me 15.
Okay.
That's about it, though.
Nobody else on the team.
No.
What about the Cavs? What do you think LeBron gonna do? Triple-double, average a triple-double?
That's what LeBron does.
That's what
LeBron does. He's the king.
How about Kyrie? That matchup, Kyrie versus Kyle. You already said Kyle doesn't show up in the playoffs. What about Kyrie? Do you think he's gonna be?
I think he'll do well.
Okay.
But if he doesn't, he still has a great supporting cast. So.
Yeah, true. So who do you think? Well, you said it's a sweep. Again, we disagree on the sweep part, but I think the Cavs will win 4-1. LeBron, anytime LeBron is in the East, his whole career, they're going to make the Eastern Conference Finals at least. No one can guard him one-on-one. That goes with many stars in the league, but no one can guard him in the East. Then you have Kyrie Irving, who's the best ball handler in the league, in my opinion. I don't know about you.
Yeah, he is.
Then you have Kevin Love, who's he gives you about 16 and 10, so that's pretty good. They were all all-stars this year. It's not really a key factor in this series, but their X factor is J.R. Smith, and if he could hit shots or not. Because when he's on, they're a whole different team. And with the addition of Darren Williams, they have a backup point guard who's offensive-minded, whereas last year they did win, but they had Dellavedova, who's more so defensive-minded. But when you add the more scoring with those guys, they're just that more dangerous. So like you said...
You can't really forget about Korver.
Ooh, that is a key addition.
You can't forget about him.
Can't forget about him on the offensive side. You're right. Defensive side, he's going to get torched by, I don't know who they're going to put him on. I don't know. Maybe they better not put him on DeRozan. Most likely not. That would be Shumpert and J.R. Smith. Maybe like P.J. Tucker, or that's probably the only person I can think of that he can have a chance, and he'll probably bully him. So, yeah, I got the Cavs as well winning. One more thing about this game. LeBron said in an interview, he said he would rather play road games than home games. Why do you think he says that? Is it the confidence he has in himself, or he just loves shutting opposing teams' crowds up?
I think he loves shutting the opposing team's crowds up because it's like him winning at home.
He's supposed to do that.
He's supposed to do that. That's too easy for him.
Yeah, I agree. LeBron is just a different animal. He's been the best in the league. He's been in the league 14 years, I think. He's been the best in the league, I say, to me, about 11 years or 10 or 11 years he's been the best in the league. Melvin's a Kobe fan. He gave me a crazy look just now. But yeah, he's been the best. Kobe was on his down years when he was getting injured. So yeah, about 10 years, LeBron has been the best player in the league.
It's hard to admit, but I'll admit that.
Thank you. And LeBron will go down as probably the greatest player of all time. The greatest player of all time. What do you have to say about that, Mal? I don't know what you got. Kobe or Jordan? Or LeBron. You can go with LeBron.
Right now, I'm gonna go with. Right now, I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan. Right now.
That's safe. That's safe.
That's a safe answer.
So LeBron is better than Kobe. Is that what you're saying?
Not right now. Not right now. I'll give him about 2 or 3 more years, and he's got it.
Okay. I'll hold your word on that one.
Hopefully, he gets 2 or 3 more rings too.
Here we go with the ring talk. But he's gonna win. He's gonna win this year. So that's an added ring. That would be 4. Yes, that would be 4.
Okay.
Mel he said he thinks the Warriors are gonna win. We're probably gonna make a bet. He's gonna make a bet with another friend of ours. And he's gonna lose a bunch of money and then go cry somewhere in the corner. So yeah, we have both picked the Cavs in this series. LeBron, nobody can stop LeBron or Kyrie. And the Raptors, Kyle Lowry is inconsistent, doesn't show up in the playoffs. And DeMar DeRozan is the only person that shows up and scores 30-plus every game. So Raptors have no chance. Cavs will win this series. And our last topic, Spurs Rockets, which I think is going to go to Game 7. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this series, and how do you think Kawhi Leonard will match up against guarding James Harden? How do you think that will go?
Well, I think that the Spurs is going to win this game. Game 7. I agree with you with that. But I think as though Kawhi plays both sides of the ball. So offensively, he's been working out with Kobe. I just want to throw that out there. And his numbers have went sky high. If you do not agree with me, let me know. No,
I agree. I saw them workouts, and I see it in his game. He got the mid-range fadeaway, I see it.
Yeah, and right now he's the leader on the team. Leading scorer. He doesn't talk vocally, but, defensive-wise, his play shows that he's the leader.
Yeah.
And James Harden-wise, he has a okay supporting cast, but not as great as...
It's debatable. They got Lou Will.
Yeah, he has other scorers on his team.
Yeah, but they're not as good defensively.
Defensively. That's what I want to say. But during the regular season, I believe they beat the Warriors. Not the Warriors. Sorry, but the Rockets 3-1. Right? Am I right?
Think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're going to continue to beat them.
Oh, so you got the Spurs winning?
Yeah, I got the Spurs winning this series.
Interesting. I'm going to disagree. Mm-hmm. I think the Rockets are going to win this series because they have a lot of scoring, and I think they can get just enough stops in these games to win. Kawhi Leonard is great. Mm-hmm. Tony Parker is hit or miss, depending on how he's feeling, because he is old. Ginobili is the same way. They're both on their down years in the league. Then you have Aldridge, who he's inconsistent to me.
Lately he has been.
It's really Kawhi Leonard making all them better. But Patty Mills does come off the bench, and he hits threes. He's their spark, like you said. And on the other side, the Rockets, the reason why I picked them, because you got James Harden, Kawhi Leonard will be guarding him, but it's a pick and roll league, so they're gonna set a pick for James Harden.
Switch, yeah.
You're gonna have to either switch, and if not, they're gonna he's gonna get to the basket and score, or if they get miscommunication somehow, some way, he's gonna throw the lob to Clint Capella, who he loves doing, and I believe James Harden is the leading assist guy in the league. So you have James Harden, then you have Lou Will and Eric Gordon coming off the bench, and they both should be They both were starters in the league. They both average almost 20 points off the bench. They should get six men in a year. No co-MVPs though in this league, but 6 men in a year, yeah, you can do that. So with them three shooting, and then you have Trevor Ariza, who's in the past been a good defender. So I believe he won't stop Kawhi Leonard, but he'll do an okay job containing them, I guess. So that's why I picked the Rockets. You have anything else to say about why you picked the Spurs? Like, because I don't see why you picking the Spurs.
Oh, you don't see it?
I don't see it at all.
Well, put it like this.
Maybe Coach Pop, maybe that's why. Good system.
Great system.
Yeah,
Great system. It's all about team basketball. And his system has been working for the longest. Every year, people think that they're not going to make the playoffs, and they end up one of the best records in the league. So I mean, it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
Well, we shall see about that. So, like I said, Mel picked the Spurs. I picked the Rockets.
We disagreed on a lot during this interview.
We both picked the Cavs, not in the sweep for me, but a sweep for Mel. Wizards Celtics. You picked the Wizards.
Yes, I did.
I picked the Celtics. You picked we both picked the Warriors. You said they're gonna sweep them. I said, what did I say? 4-2.
4-2.
Yeah, so we shall see. And when this second round is over, I'm gonna have Mel back on, and I'm gonna be right for the ones we disagreed on, and I'm gonna give it to him, and I hope he has something to say back, because he probably won't. He'll probably be solid if he comes, like I said before.
I'll be here. I'll be here and ready to tell you I told you so.
Okay, and so
I can't wait to prove you wrong.
And before we go, I wanted to ask you guys to follow my Twitter page at nightly_sports, my Instagram page, Nightly Sports Talk. I'm your host, Reggie Coleman, and I want to thank Mel Weldon for coming in as my guest today. Mel, any closing remarks?
Thanks for having me.
Alrighty, and thanks again. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Until next time, thank you.